Welcome back to the off-grid water tower build. This is part 2. Today I'm going to be putting the 55-gallon tanks up here and plumbing them together in preparation for the ram pump. So let's get started. So my local hardware store sells these giant 55-gallon drums for $11 a piece. You can't beat that. I think they're actually medical waste. Well, they come from Baxter's, but they held some kind of non-toxic cleaner. But I'm going to be running several tanks worth before I start watering my garden, just to make sure it's flushed out. But it's supposed to be food grade safe. Because the lids of my tanks here are closed off, I'm going to be using a unisill instead of a bulkhead. And I just want to take my 2-inch hole saw and drill up from the bottom through this gap in the wood, and that's where the unisill is going to be placed. I'm going to have to put this on the ground. That's loud. Nice. I hate having to fish these things out whenever they fall through. Anyway, we'll get that off in just a minute. So the unisill is just going to fit in here, and it's a decently tight, snug fit. And when that pipe goes in there, it really pops it out and keeps it from leaking. Now eventually my goal is to have 3 tanks up here, so I'm going to cut 3 pieces of pipe this length here, and I just brought a hacksaw up here, so it's a little bit on the slow side. Now whenever using unisill, it is critical to knock off the burrs here and also to taper the edge of the pipe. That'll allow it to go into that unisill without cutting into it. So I just kind of either use sandpaper or a file and fold over the edges of that pipe. Okay, I've put some water here on the pipe and on the inside of the unisill. Now it's just a matter of getting this pressed in here, and it can be quite a hassle. I may have to go get some soap if this doesn't go in here easy enough. Okay. Let's see here. That might be enough, as long as it's all the way through. Yeah, I think we're good now. I'm now doing a dry fitting of my PVC components here. So I'll show you my setup so far, but I'm just using my hacksaw to cut this pipe. And just like before, I'm just hitting these burrs off here with this file. I like the rounded file because it gets inside there really well. I'm going to swap that one over. So here's what I have so far. Unisill comes out of both of these tanks. This one comes down here, hits a ball valve in case I want to save that 55 gallons for later. Hits a cross piece which goes up to the tank and goes out for expansion to the next tank. Comes down. This is going to be the main line out to the garden for whatever I'm going to use it for. Over here I'm going to have a ball valve so that I can just drain these tanks for any reason. And over here is going to be the input. So this is where the creek water is going to come into and it's going to climb up and fill these tanks from the bottom. Now there are air holes on the top that allow the air to escape. Okay, I think I have this all planned out. The ram pump is going to come into this pipe right here, climbs up, goes over. I have a shut off in case I want to stop the tanks from filling. Comes up here. We'll continue up, and it will fill in 3 different directions into the tanks. And if I want to shut off either side, I can do that with the ball valve. And then I can shut off the last tank here, the middle tank, with this. And then if I need to clean it out, I have this clean out over here that's just going to be open. So the water will come out of here, down here, and hopefully have lots of pressure way down at the garden spot. Well, I think in my mind this video was going to be a bit more entertaining than this, but at least it's done. So I've got everything glued in here. So it goes from tanks, and both of them feed down. So that one is open, that one's closed until I get another tank in here. And then feeds up, goes up, feeds the tanks, and then this one will come out. And I will probably have a shut-off valve at the bottom, of course, so that I can just have the pressure in there all the time. So I'm liking it. Now, one issue I may have with this is that I'm going to have to open up the tops to have enough airflow. And so I may just have to maybe bungee a piece of screen up there to keep bugs from going in. But anyway, so in the next video, I will be getting the ram pump set up and running it up here, and we'll be giving this a test. So should be really exciting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.